going to be talking about connected car happiness. I've been around the conference now for a few days, and of course we go to a lot of other crypto conferences, and the reaction that we get when we tell people we're building a connected car platform on blockchain is typically one of like disbelief. Like, how does that work? What do you mean connected cars? Like, I thought we were just building a casino. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about a whole new trillion-dollar industry that we can actually bring crypto principles to and begin to expand beyond the small community that crypto is today and take what we've been building into the real economy after the last 15 years. I think that this is the most important frontier in crypto, is going into economies that have not had crypto principles and crypto technology into it. So I'm really excited to be sharing what we're building. And yeah, we're going to talk about connected cars. So let's start with something simple. What is DIMO? And we'll revisit this throughout my presentation here, but DIMO enables developers to use vehicle connectivity and data to create magical app experiences around vehicles. Some of you may have had the experience of having an app for your car, and if you have, you might have noticed some problems around that app. Generally, Tesla users, Tesla drivers will like their car app, but most other people, if you've tried a Toyota app like I have, or a BMW app or something like those, you're probably not exactly like raving about that app to most people. And one thing that I think is important is that cars are incredibly connected. They actually produce about 25 gigabytes per hour in data. If you look at cars as an IoT category, they are actually 5 times bigger as a category than all other connected devices combined. So if you want to talk about IoT and you're not talking about connected cars, then you're missing the largest category of connected devices in the world. Some of the ways that those cars are connected today, I already mentioned. Automakers make their own applications. We actually have seen a lot of automakers do digital marketing campaigns, even around NFTs. There's tons of social activity around cars. There's lots of other auto apps, third-party apps that you can use. And we'll just kind of take a quick little sampling of what these look like. Online car communities are enormous. There's hundreds of thousands of people that are in their Tesla community or in the Subaru WRX community, or go and talk on Reddit and Facebook about Cadillacs. Similarly, there's only about 500 people talking about the Ford Pass app. So these are huge communities of really engaged people that are already online talking about their cars. They're even going further. They're creating virtual identities for their vehicles. So if you go on Instagram, you can see tens of thousands of people who have created IDs for their cars. They share pictures about their cars. They're already giving their car an online life. It's just disconnected from the rest of the connected car experience today. We do see people starting to actually integrate their cars into their digital lives. Home Assistant, which is an open source smart home platform, has 21 different auto-related integrations already, all community supported. I've mentioned some of these like new digital experiences that automakers are creating around NFTs and things like that. But these are one-off experiments that the automakers so far have not shown an appetite to pursue. You can actually talk to AI about cars too. Lots of vehicle service manuals and things like that have been ingested into tools that we all use every day, like ChatGPT. You can get ChatGPT to draw you nice pictures of cars. But AI is an important frontier in the auto space. And of course, there's dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of other applications around car performance, road tripping, car meetups, collectors apps. The auto industry is enormous and people want digital tools around it. The problem is that none of these tools are connected. There is no shared layer. There's no shared identity. There's no shared understanding of who the drivers are, what cars they have, what's going on inside those cars. And there's no ability for all of these trillion-dollar industries to coordinate. Classic crypto problem. The last thing I'll say on the problems, and then we'll start getting into a little bit more about DIMO. The one other big problem, in addition to all of this coordination and user experience issues, is that the auto industry ranks really poorly on privacy. In fact, Mozilla said, this is the worst product category we've ever reviewed for privacy. So if you care about privacy and you care about interoperability, then auto is like the juiciest opportunity you could imagine. And what does this all add up to? Like, we've all been getting these car apps, and every automaker is making these apps, but it's actually the worst part of the user experience. And we hear this from OEM executives that we talk to, car maker executives. We see this in reviews. We see this in studies. People want to use their cars online. They're online communities. They're using all these apps. There's all this opportunity, but there's an obvious disconnect. So we believe that if you add 4 building blocks, you create a better community around these vehicles, you create interoperability, you bring in new developers, and you bring in privacy, then you can actually create a connected car experience that is somewhat reflective of the delightful device experiences we have on our phones. So what would that look like if we were to build this auto industry the way we want it, where there's interoperability and there is privacy and there's all these magical experiences? What would that look like, and how do you go about doing that? What we've done at DIMO is we started with creating a digital twin for the vehicle that anyone can own. So we deployed our first smart contracts around this, I guess 3 years ago almost at this point. We have a vehicle identity contract. Anyone can actually take your car, depending on the kind of car you have, either use software or hardware to connect it. You create a vehicle identity for your car, and then data about that car from its ECUs or even external data is appended to that vehicle over time, building up this NFT, this dynamic NFT that has the story of your car attached to it. We're adding credentials, we're adding other ways for people to attach that data, and it's becoming this, if you're from the US and you're familiar with Carfax, you have this Carfax on steroids that has truly the whole history of the car from the computers inside of it. That vehicle ID is crucially what confers interoperability and privacy to this industry. So what we've also built into the DIMO protocol is the ability for drivers themselves to be in control of the data sharing. So as a driver today, and I can do this from the DIMO mobile app, I can actually share my data with another person. I can share it with my fiance. I can share it with my co-founder, and he shares his car with me, so we can see when we're at the office. But I can also share that data with a used car marketplace. Carvana, Vroom, WeCars, every country has them. These marketplaces are buying cars sight unseen. It would be very, very easy for you to share your car data with a marketplace in order to get a better price on your car with the DIMO protocol. You can do that across insurance, across AI. We're working with hundreds of developers today that are actually building applications to accept first-party vehicle data shared from users. Here's a quick example. I recorded a little video. That was my car. I'm going into the DIMO marketplace. Private Auto is a marketplace to sell your car. I'm going to pick which car I want to share data on. And in the tap of a button, Private Auto is actually ingesting the data. They can see what kind of car I have and actually give me a price based on the data from my vehicle. This is actually a pretty surface level integration. We're working with most of our providers to most of our partners to do deeper integrations, but it becomes very trivial for a user to actually share their data and have data sharing really go across this $1 trillion industry. So all of a sudden, this industry that is today very disconnected can become very interconnected. And we know that when those sorts of barriers are removed, we can see the economic activity increase dramatically. So if you're wondering, these are very high level talking about, how do you get started on DIMO? How do you start this journey? You create your digital twin, your private ID of your car. You can do that in the DIMO mobile app today. You connect it into this open marketplace. And then if you're a developer, it's all about delivering happiness and monetizing, and whether that's charging users or sharing data with users. There's all kinds of ways that developers today are building their business models on top of the DIMO protocol. But as a user, as a driver, you get to access hundreds of applications that make your connected car life more interesting. And of course, there's a very straightforward flywheel to the way we think about this. The more drivers that we have about 100,000 cars and 30,000 drivers connected to DIMO today. That's more connections, it's more data, there's more app features that are coming, and we can increase the utility. But actually, we can really exponentially drive this flywheel. Of course, we're bringing open developer tools in. The DIMO token has been live for several years. We can create more virtual auto marketplaces with this infrastructure that allows us to grow the connected car world even more quickly. So how do you build on DIMO? I've covered. If you're a driver, you can download the DIMO mobile app, buy a device, you can get your car connected and start exploring the marketplace. If you're a developer and you're interested in building at the intersection of, connected cars and crypto, if you're interested in building in the DePIN world, we would invite you to check out our platform. We've recently released our developer license and our DIMO credits, which is a credit model in order to access the DIMO developer platform. We have a developer console, which we'll be releasing in the next week or two to be self-service so that anyone can get started really easily. We already have a bunch of APIs ready and available, including our identity and our telemetry API. It's all GraphQL, so it's really easy to get started and start working with DIMO. We're continuing to build out a bunch of other REST APIs that will be available to developers in order to do things like, see events from the car, charging data, and things like that. But a lot of that's already available in our telemetry APIs. We even have our first SDK out. We're building some more coming soon. Actually, a community members contributing the Python SDK. So we're really excited to make it ever easier to develop. And our vision is that we can create really privacy-first virtual marketplace infrastructure for the industry. What that means is whether you're using the DIMO mobile app or whether you're using a local app, or we'll see hundreds of DIMO applications built in the next couple of years, and all of those will use the same underlying infrastructure that makes it really easy to share data and access throughout this very convoluted industry. If you're interested in learning more about the developer platform, you can scan this QR code. If you want to get in contact with me, you can scan the one below that. And I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about DIMO today. If you have any questions.